Back with another episode of Chef's Kiss. Joining me today, Phillies new reliever Kyle Backhus. What's up, Kyle?
Not much, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining me today. I know it's a little bit colder than usual in Texas there, right? Having some
Yeah,
trouble
it's a
with
little
the
colder than
ice?
usual. Yeah, a little bit. Nothing too bad. They said it was gonna be way worse than what it was. So it turned out to
Dude,
be decent.
every time they hype it up, it's a storm of which we've never seen before. I'm like, it's going to snow. That's it. No, it's just snow. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Chicago, so it's not a big deal to me. Everyone's like freaking out over here. I'm like, relax, guys.
Yeah, I know everybody here sees sleet and they think it's Armageddon again. So
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, Kyle, obviously, your new home here is in Philadelphia. I'm in South Jersey, so like 20 minutes away from the stadium. I just want to know if you talked to any of the guys yet. You played with any of these guys before. Obviously, when you sign with a new team, I'm sure you kind of reach out to some people that you know. Have you spoken to anybody yet?
yeah, I've spoken to pretty much all the front office. Thumper called me the night of the trade, and then the next day I received a text from Harper, kind of welcomed me in, and letting me know that if I need anything, I can text them or whatever. And I know a few of the guys, Renee Pinto and Trevor Richards, who we signed on the free agent side of things. I played with them last year in Reno, so yeah, I know a few guys. And then, like I said, a good amount has reached out to me.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, I mean that's great if Bryce Harper's texting you, right? Telling you, hey, if you need any homemade banana bread, let me know. He
For
likes
sure.
he likes to cook. He's a cooking influencer now, so we've seen.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
was saying too.
Kyle, June 8th, 2025. Tell me about that day. Striking out Ellie De La Cruz, one of the most electric players in baseball. Tell me about it. June 8th of last year.
Man, that was crazy. I'm gonna back it up to June 7th. We were in Oklahoma City on a 2 week road trip. It's the last day of that road trip. I get called up to Saturday night game. I have no clothes in my bag that are clean, so I'm in the hotel room or in the hotel laundry room at 12 o'clock at night, trying to make phone calls, get laundry, wondering what I have to wear to the field and whatnot. I get like 2 hours of sleep, get on a flight, connector to Dallas, get to Dallas. Our plane's not there. We're delayed an hour and a half. I'm in contact with the clubhouse guy. I'm like, dude, do I come to the field? Like, what do I need to do? The plane's not here. Finally get on the plane, get Cincinnati. I think I get there an hour and a half before the game. I go outside, throw with the assistant pitching coach. I pretty much get told by my agent that I'm not pitching that night or that day. I guess it was a day game getaway for them. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll enjoy my time. And seventh inning rolls around. Hey, Backus, get up. I think you're going to pitch. Uh, so, I mean, I'm running on no sleep, not really a lot of adrenaline. I knew a lot of those guys in the clubhouse from spring training. A good group of guys, good young core, and even the vets. Like, I mean, Shelby Miller was one of the vets, and Ryan Thompson. Like, I made a good connection with them out of spring, so they made it really easy on me. Yeah, I mean, I walked into the clubhouse like it was a bunch of my friends. I'm goofing around with Cattell Marte day one. Like they were great. Get in there, 1, 2, 3, get a strikeout. It was pretty cool. But my head never got too high. Got never got too low. None of my family was there, so that kind of sucked. But it was just it was how quick things happened. I just told them, go ahead and meet me in Arizona that next day, and so they got to see my second day in the big leagues, which I pitched then too.
on back to back days, right?
Yeah, back to back days right out the get go.
So yeah, was that something you were expecting? You kind of knew this was coming, or did it take you by surprise? What was that like?
I kind of knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was coming. I was kind of told out of spring that they brought in some veteran relievers on minor league deals that they'd probably get their shot before me. And the year prior to, I had a really good chance of breaking camp, but I hurt my elbow during big league camp. So just kind of sitting there waiting for my shot, seeing every guy kind of get called up, all the veteran guys. I'm like, man, there's not very many more left. Like sooner or later, it's gonna be a young guy, and I had been rolling. I think I had a 2-2 in the PCL at the time, and I was like, surely enough, like one thing goes wrong, I'm next. And sure enough, I was the next person up.
That's awesome. You
Yeah,
like playing in Arizona? The stadium's pretty nice, right?
yeah. I mean, it was warm. Out of college, I was an undrafted free agent, they were the only team that reached out, so it felt like home there to me. After getting to talk with some of the Phillies guys and some of the players that have went through Philly or played with guys in Philly, I'm like, man, this is a new home. It's I felt very welcome. Right off the rip.
What did they tell you? What did they tell you about Philly?
Uh, I trained with a guy that was in Miami with JT. So he's the first guy I kind of went to about the player side of things. He's like, dude, JT's great, great catcher. You hear all these great things about him and whatnot. It's obvious the fan base is very electric, whether you're good or you're bad. From being a Texas guy, I don't know if I want to tell all the fans this, but I grew up a Cowboys fan, so always seeing Eagles Cowboys, just a fan banner, just knowing the historic history of Philadelphia. Um, yeah, I mean, when you think about sports powerhouses, you just think of the city of Philadelphia. Honestly, that between that and Boston for me. So
Yeah.
I know I was stepping into a good spot there. It was kind of crazy. The day after my trade, I went to a Dallas game. I told my dad, I was like, dude, it's your birthday present that we're here, but I cannot post this whatsoever.
Yeah, do not take any photos of me. Yeah, they are crazy with Cowboys hate. They hate the Cowboys. But once you're a part of the family and on the team, it's all support from there. Obviously, every fan base has a bunch of knuckleheads, right? That
Right.
usually it's the loudest ones are the biggest knuckleheads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not the Cowboys fan that says, next year's our year and whatnot. Like I'm pretty realistic. Like
Yeah,
they blew my expectations out of the water on the offensive side of things, but I went to a game in person and that defense is it's terrible.
yeah,
But I do have some connections with the Eagles. Lane Johnson being a Groveton, Texas guy. I think it's about 45 minutes away from where I live. Jalen Hurts, Channelview, Texas. So I already have an
Mhm.
order in for a Lane Johnson jersey. So I'm at least have that in my back
Nice.
pocket. But, there's some Texas guys. I like to pull for the Texas guys. So,
Yeah, Lane has an awesome workout facility at his house. It's like a barn. So you talk to him, I'm
yeah.
sure he'll take you in there. You guys check it out. Be really cool. Obviously, you got your camo on, dude. And I was looking at your Instagram, and you are was that a ram? A ram hunter? Was that a
Uh,
ram or what was that?
it's technically a goat. It's called an ibex. They're from like, I don't even know how to exactly explain it, but they're like the Middle East, I guess, like Afghanistan, like that area in the mountains. They're like the god of the mountains, I guess, is what you call it. So here in Texas, there's a bunch of exotic high fence ranches, and one of my old professors from college runs a ranch, and I've been trying to get a hunt with him for 2 3 years, and this year finally something came about. That was my first exotic I've ever shot, and I got to do it with my bow. Usually I'm just strictly whitetail and other things like that. But yeah, that was my first, I guess, goat, if you will, taken while I've been hunting.
Yeah. JT is really into hunting, and I think he's got his. I don't know if it's his like own bows or if he's sponsored by a bow company, something like that. But they asked the guys, like if there was like a zombie apocalypse or an end of the world kind of thing, like who do you want? Like who do you want on your team? Majority of the guys say JT. There's JT and then Matt Strom. They're like the outdoorsmen. And I was telling this to Sugared as well. I was like, he's the country boy with the bows and stuff. So I'm sure you guys will have a lot to talk about with that stuff too, which is just really
Yeah,
good.
for
Obviously
sure.
having that relationship.
Yeah, yeah. I knew that kind of in the back of my head that he was the hunter. And then I saw, I think, where Schwarber got a custom bow for his 10 year and whatnot. And then I knew Shug was a hunter. I kind of watched a little bit of that episode too to kind of get a feel
Yeah.
for things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was going to ask you, obviously, you broke out into the bigs last season, spent some time in minor leagues, so you're familiar with the ABS system. This season is going to be the first time the ABS system is in Major League Baseball. Just as a pitcher, I want to get your thoughts on that. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts. Like, I love baseball because of the human element. It's not always
Right.
fair. So I do like that element of baseball that's kind of being taken away, I guess you could say, with the two challenges. Obviously, you still got to throw the ball in the zone. It's
Right.
still the rules still apply. But just any kind of thoughts that you have on the ABS system? Does anything change about it? Coming here to Major League Baseball this season.
Um, I'm kind of on the side of you. Like the human element's still kind of there. The human error things. If I think the umpire's wrong or the hitter thinks the umpire's wrong, they have their chance to call them out there. And I've seen some really good calls. I've seen some really bad calls, and it's always humbling when the call is that bad. Somebody thinks they're right, and it gets turned around on them. Like a hitter thinks a pitch was a ball, and it's two balls inside the zone. I think it humbles guys pretty well. If the game is going to go in the direction it's going, I don't mind the ABS system as long as it's the challenge system. My first year at AAA, it was in the PCLs, like the first 3 days was the auto zone. So just no umpire. They just had the earpiece in, calling strikes, balls. And then the last three were the human element side of things. They call strikes, balls, challenge, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much on the side of keep the human element in the game or the human error. Yeah, if we're going to go toward technology, at least be the challenge system.
Mm-hmm. So kind of let it play out and make you make the call. If you thought it was a strike, you'll have to call it.
Right. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you still got to throw it to the plate and make the hitter hit it.
Right. Do you make any of those calls? Or are you going to rely on the catchers? Because I asked Shug, and he's like, "Nah, I don't do that. I'll leave that up to the catchers." Because I think everything's a strike. Do you have that same mentality?
Yeah, I mean, in Arizona, we were told as relievers, don't even try to challenge it. And we had dudes that still challenge it. And we had a Latin guy that challenged it. He was 8 of 8, at one point. But I'm gonna let the catcher do that. And later in games, we've seen it in AAA where a call goes against us and we're hitting, and our hitter challenges it, gets the call right, and then double off the wall or something, scores the game time run. So I think I'm gonna leave it in the hands of the catcher in our offense more so. And I'm never gonna tap my head. Like it's just not me. I'm just worried about throwing the pitcher over the plate. If it's that close to where we're 50-50, is it a strike, is it a ball? I probably didn't make the greatest of pitches.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So just leave it up to probably JT to make the call then.
Yeah. If I'm gonna leave it up to anybody, it's gonna be a JT. So
yeah, sure. Wanted to ask you a little bit about analytics in baseball, and how much you focus on analytics, barrel percentage, chase rate, whiff percentage. Obviously, you got a 3-pitch mix. You love your sinker, your sweeper, and your changeup. Do you buy into a lot of the analytics? Are you like a stat head when you look at that kind of stuff and how you can improve? Obviously, you're a killer against lefties. That left on left, you're very good. Expected batting average against lefties is very low. Do you look at that kind of stuff and diagnose it? You're going to speak with Caleb Cotham, the pitching coach. Are these conversations that are going on with you guys?
First off, I'm not that big into analytics. I'm not I guess, nerd, if you will, about numbers. I'm pretty much monkeys and symbols on the mound. Like I'm ready to get into the fight. Throw down. I trust my stuff over who's in the box. Does it bite me at times? Yeah. But does it work in my favor more times than not? I would like to say so too. Yeah, I mean, about the only numbers I really look at would be my extension. I know when I have a short extension, the ball's probably getting sprayed or I don't feel right. But at the end of the day, I know I just have to compete with what I have. But yeah, man, the most part of the main conversations I've had with Caleb so far has been change-up talks, trying to develop change-up a little bit more. When to throw certain pitches to righties, to lefties. I know righties gave me troubles in the big leagues last year, and that's just never happened. Even in the minors, I mean, even if they did touch me up, it was no more than 270 batting average. And I think last year was 365 or whatever. Like it was terrible. But yeah, no, I'm not big into the analytics other than, if I feel something different, I'll take a glance at, extension or maybe my ball's not moving like it normally does. But yeah, no, I'm not too terribly big into analytics.
Well, speaking of extension, do you know that you are in the 96th percentile for extension for pitchers?
Yeah, I think it's a 7.2, 7.3.
7.2. Very good. See? Yeah, tell me you don't look at this stuff. You know what it is.
Yeah, I think I had a
Yeah, it
game
says
last year. I think I reached up to 7-8, 7-7, and you could feel it then. I'm like, man, I'm reaching out there a little bit.
reaching. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
obviously you guys are reporting soon. I mean, it's the end of January. You guys are heading up there soon. Um, spring training, you're going to be with a new group of guys. What's your focus during spring training? What constitutes as a successful spring training for you? Obviously, you want to make the squad. Just kind of, yeah, like this spring, what are you bringing into the clubhouse to the field every day? This is what I need to work on if I want to, do be my best. I need to do this. What is that?
I mean, first and foremost, I want to get comfortable with all the guys. I think I'm driving down on the 7th, get there the 8th. Probably going that Monday. Get situated, say hi to everybody. Um, Try to get my face in front of everybody before they show up. I think that's big. I don't like to be the last one there, or kind of showing up in the middle of the pack and having to chase guys down. I'd rather my face be there first. When they walk in, they're like, "Oh, that's the new guy. There's Kyle. Let me go introduce myself." Um, I'm gonna bring. I would like to say humor. I know once I get to know people, I don't stop talking, which is weird because I mean I can sit in the corner all day and not say a word and just be fine. But I like to keep it loose. I like to talk about things that I enjoy. I like learning new things and whatnot. Um, yeah, and then I'm going to bring a good work ethic. I think a lot of grit. When the job is called upon me, I'm going to try to get it done. And just do my best. And I think a good spring would just constitute me, being healthy. I've had issues in the past of not being able to get out of spring training healthy, and miss the first month or two. So I think a good healthy spring, and then obviously getting outs and whatnot to fight for one of those two last spots in the bullpen or whatever it may be, and just put myself in the best spot moving forward to break the team and obviously help us win a championship, because who knows what is going to happen in 27. So try to make this year the best year.
Right. Yeah, what is going to happen in 27? We keep hearing, CBA and all that stuff. Are you involved in that heavily, or are you kind of just like whatever happens, guys, like I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too heavily involved. I don't do good with those big words and those meetings and whatnot. I've sat in most of them. We had a player meeting I think last year when we were in Milwaukee, and me and another rookie, Andrew Southrank, we're the only two rookies there. Like, not that we know anything what's going on, but like I feel like it's important to show face and show that we at least care to sit there and listen, regardless if we retain information or not. Um, yeah, for me, I think I put trust into the older vets and the guys that have time and know what they're talking about to pass down information and kind of guide us on what we need to do, and how we can help to do our part. Um,
Mm.
and I know Harp is, I guess, in the past he's said some things to Manfred and whatnot, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm put all my trust into him, and lead us in the right direction and ultimately put us in the right spot.
Well, right. I mean, the whole issue that Harp had a problem with, and I have it as well. Like, I have a hard time looking at a player and saying you can only make this amount of money. It's a free
Yeah,
market, man. I mean, whatever you want to pay me, I'll take it. Wherever I got to go, whatever I got to
yeah,
do. So that's the issue is, and then it comes back to like competitive balance, and everybody blames the Dodgers. The Dodgers are ruining baseball. I don't think that's true. I mean, do they have more money? They got a lot of money. They're also one of the biggest markets in baseball, second biggest market in the country. That's If you're
yeah.
going to cap these teams, that's not going to make stingy owners spend more money. You're not closing the gap regardless, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the team that wants to win is going to go out and try to get a winning ball club on the field, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. And I mean, I saw it in that division for the little time I was up. You go face the Dodgers, and they bring fans in, they bring money in. I can see why players want to go play there. They're going to win. Same with the Padres. I mean, they haven't done what we all thought they were going to do, but they still bring fans in. They bring the players, like they're ready to win. And I think Arizona kind of did that too after 23. They brought in Corbin Burns and a few other pieces, and like they're showing that they want to win. And I feel like some of the smaller teams are wanting to do that, but they're not wanting to spend the money. And like you said, I have a problem with looking across the clubhouse and being like, man, that's a two-time MVP over there. Like, why are you trying to dock his pay? Like that dude earned every penny that he's played for, you know?
Right. Yeah, 162 games a year on the road, couple of off days. So yeah, there's like, everybody likes to be a talking head about that, but yeah, this is what it takes to win in baseball. And if you're not willing to meet that, then don't expect to win, and don't cry about it.
Right.
So we,
Yeah.
we want competition. Go spend money. This isn't a passive income.
Yeah.
You're the owner
Yeah.
of what X and Y team. This is what it takes to win. You own a major league baseball
Yeah.
team. Go spend money. Quit lining your pockets. Go help the fans
Yeah.
out. They're
Yeah.
out there at 80 games a season, buying the merchandise, buying MLB TV. Help us out a little bit, right?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to win, you got to spend a little pocket change. Same with the business. You want a business to be successful, you got to go in debt a little bit.
Exactly. Spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Um, Kyle, did you have a walkout song?
I did. I did have a walkout song.
What was it? Are you going to change it? And what's it going to be this year?
I don't know. My wife kind of helped me pick it out. It was Holy Ground by Big X the Plug and Jess Murph. I
Okay.
just like the build up and beat to it, especially at Chase with it being a domed stadium. It kind of the beat hit a little bit different. At heart, I'm a old school countries guy. I like '90s country, '80s country, but none of those songs really are going to hit to the modern day fan, I guess.
Yeah. Should
So
have
I'm
been a
probably going to say,
cowboy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'll probably stick with Big X, or I've even thought about Little Boosie. So maybe we might bring some Boosie out. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Kyle, if you weren't a big league player, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't a big league player, what I'd be doing? I would probably be a ranch manager somewhere in South Texas, if not at a whitetail ranch around the area. I got my bachelor's in animal science with a wildlife management degree or minor. So it's always been a dream to own a high fence ranch and work with, whitetail deer and genetics and whatnot. So probably ranch manager somewhere.
Okay. The
Yeah.
um the coolest bachelor party I ever went on was at a gated ranch in Wisconsin. And there were
Yeah.
white-tailed deer and all these cabins that was just our party, and you're in the middle of nowhere, and it was the coolest bachelor party I've ever been on. It wasn't Vegas, it wasn't anything else. It was on a ranch. It was so fun. We had
Yeah.
music so loud because you're on hundreds of acres and there's
Yeah.
nobody around. So I can understand why you're drawn to that. You get to drive those
Yeah.
ATVs everywhere, and it's just like, this is awesome, you know?
Yeah. You feel free. No
Yeah.
rules.
So that's a big passion of yours then. Outdoors, wildlife, hunting,
For
preservation,
sure.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. One teammate you would not want mic'd up.
One team that I would not want mic'd up. Man, there was a few from the past. Man, put me on the spot with this one. I'd probably say Ryan Thompson.
Okay.
He has some good things to say, and then he'll just kind of go off the rails on some things. It's like, man, you
Yeah.
shouldn't say that.
So,
Shouldn't say
yeah.
that.
Yeah. You can think it, just don't say that, right?
But yeah, he likes to stir the pot a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean those guys are the most fun, obviously. Um What are you looking forward to here in Philly? Obviously, there's cheesesteaks and food and all that stuff, but obviously coming from Texas, being in Arizona for some time, is there anything that you're looking forward to? Anything you're looking to try? Anything you've heard that's pretty cool?
Man, other than getting in that side of the country and actually being able to live there and not just kind of visit there for a 3 game set, I like to travel and see things for the first time and whatnot. Obviously, the cheesesteaks. I think everybody kind of wants to try that. I told my wife that I'm ready to see the stairs that Rocky ran up and hit a little pose
Yeah,
at the top. I think that'd be cool. Um,
dude, do that.
yeah, but
Yeah,
other than
post
that,
that to
just I'll say,
Instagram.
yeah,
You'll win over
I'll
fans
say
real
mainly,
quick with that.
yeah. Just seeing the energy of Philadelphia, honestly, is kind of what I'm eager to see because coming from Arizona, it's teams are hit or miss there. I had a great time, great interaction with a lot of fans and whatnot. But actually seeing, a full blown fan base that's bought in with a team, regardless if they're good or bad, I think I'm ready to see, some of that.
Yeah, they're a very passionate fan base. Don't listen to talk radio if you get a chance. If you're in the car, the station here is called WIP. Don't listen to them. It's constant negative talk and blah 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 and tearing everybody down. That's what they. I'm telling you right now. The whole Eagles season, they want to pit him against him, and is Jalen the problem? Is AJ a problem? All this kind of stuff, just so they can have stuff to talk about for 4 or 5 hours on the radio. So that's what I'm trying to do here, Kyle, is give Philadelphia sports fans another option to listen to actual conversations, to good stuff, as opposed to constant, they call it Negadelphia. All that Negadelphia talk about, what's wrong. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. So steer clear of that stuff. It's just all negative. So that would be some of my advice. I didn't have anything else for you. That was all I had. You're obviously going to be down in Clearwater the 7th, you said. I go down to Clearwater every spring for spring training, so I'll definitely let you know when I'm down there, so I can come see you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, holler when you're down there.
All right. I'm gonna end this. You just stay on real quick, and then I'll get you out of here. Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
Again, thank you for joining us. Again, it's Kyle Backhus, Phillies relief pitcher. We will see you guys next time.